Hello, everybody. I am meteorologist Hutch Johnson. We have a lot to talk about. We have thunderstorms firing and moving through Minnesota. The activity has become a little bit more expansive and widespread. We're going to cover what's going on the radar right now, keeping you updated in the middle of a severe thunderstorm watch. We've had some videos sent in. We've had some photos sent in, and we'll get you to the latest on what's going on across our Northern Plains region right now. But first, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. And if this is the first time that you've joined, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, I'd love to have you hit the subscribe button on my YouTube page. Also, make sure that you hit the notification bell to stay informed. A smattering of severe thunderstorms moving along in south of Alexandria as we go across the I-94 corridor has a recent hail report with it. And I have the velocities turned on right now to keep my eyes on some rotation. There's a couple of these storms forming. The main threat tonight in our area with regards to our severe thunderstorm risk is going to be hail, 1 to maybe 2 inches in diameter. We have a line solid from the Lake of the Woods area right through the Beltrami County area, just moving out of the Red Lakes area where the storms have been strong. And then we go down into Bemidji, Hubbard County, Park Rapids, some 1-inch diameter hail reported in there. And as we take a look down to the south, going down through the Hubbard County area into Wadena County and Sebeka, showers and thunderstorms have become severe. So we'll go through everything. What has not been severe is what's going on in the Stutzman County area, Carrington, New Rockford, and pushing out into the Cooperstown area right now. I'm going to track it all for you and get you caught up with the very latest. We'll reserve some time for your questions as always. And what makes Hutch's weather very special is having you here with me and taking the time to drop a comment or a question. I'll do my best to keep up with them. Keep them coming though. If you're here, let me know where you're watching from so that I know what the question is coming from or an observation. We want to remind you, you can upload your content as well to hutchesweather.com. Speaking of which, I've had some fantastic photos uploaded as we've already started the day with storms that move through parts of North Dakota. Are you kidding me? Look at this gully washer. We've been waiting for rain like this in the Fargo area. I've had 3 100ths in my rain gauge in South Moorhead, while West Fargo got hit a lot harder with about 7/10 of an inch. And look what's going on here. This is sheets of rain being blown in New Rockford. Andrew, thank you so very much. And this is from that downpour in the 4 o'clock hour today. A good 1,400ths in the old rain gauge. We'll take it, but there was some pea-size hail piling up there as well, being reported by old Andrew. Thank you so much. Now, last night in the middle of the night, I had about 14 hours of solid weather coverage as we went through. We did have some damage to some trees around the area. This was North Fargo. Again, these storms with a lot of wind as they move through, but not necessarily a lot of rain for Fargo Moorhead. Where things were a little bit more robust, though, there was a tornado warning that was in effect for the Beltrami area. A little bit of damage reported. So if you have damage to report from these storms, I know you may be a farmer and say, it's just a little wind out there in the middle of the night. But if you have tree damage, this does help analyze what moved through. This is just off to the south and east of Beltrami. Thanks, Joni, for this look at some downed trees in your area. So there's one, and there are a couple more. A pine tree, it looks like we have another one here, broken down. That's a pretty good-sized tree center right there, or what you call the trunk, and that thing was snapped off near the ground. So pretty good winds. And what we meteorologists like to do, if the storm permits, there's another one falling down. This is a little bit smaller maybe, but broken halfway up. Again, thanks, Joni, for uploading your photos. I do appreciate that. That does help us as these storms are working their way through the region. So keeping our eyes on the skies for what's going on in and around Douglas County and the Alexandria. Emily shared this of some major damage from the storms that made their way through in the wee hours of the morning today, starting our day. And we were covering those storms as they made their way through your area as well. So a number of pictures of everything from fantastic glowing lightning to storms working their way through, some video clips, some branches down, you name it. We got your content right here. Let's get to the content with regards to the warnings active right now. We're starting down in Alexandria on the south side. We'll work our way up, moving in towards Sauk Center right now. West Union, this glowing thing that you see here flashing, that's a hail core that's making its way in. The storm has exited the Glenwood area. There is a warning that continues, but will likely expire as the storm is making its way out. This is the new warning. This does include Osakis out towards Long Prairie and the Gray Eagle area. So this is for the threat of hail. 1 3/4 inches out there as we're approaching some big time hail sizes out there. This is again until 5:45, and again we have that hail threat that was observed. So we have a report of hail, 1.75 inches, and we could also see some gusty winds on the order of 60 or 60 miles per hour, moving northeast at that 38 mile per hour clip. So we'll go ahead and track the storm for you here as it's working its way up into the area. See if I can find that tracker thing. Here we go. We'll just turn it on right there. Okay, so again, reminding myself exactly speed of this. It will help in diagnosing at 38 miles per hour. Here we go. So the leading edge of the storm right on the interstate part right now. So we'll keep our eyes on that. All right. Pardon me, while we draw the leading edge of the hail core here, moving northeast, 38 miles per hour. We'll put it at 40 because sometimes these scans take a bit to come on down. But Sauk Center, 501, Gray Eagle by 518 and 520 to Long Prairie. Now, the communities in the path of the storm farther out in time here will be places like Swansville, Bertram, as well as you folks out there in the Randall and Little Falls area, but we'll keep our eyes on the storm and see if it maintains its intensity. I will sneak a look over at another radar site here so we can take a peek of what's going on with regards to this storm from Minneapolis, because that's a little bit closer radar site. So bear with me while I take a peek at what's going on from that particular radar. Here we go. We'll switch the data over. It might see a little bit more detail. Now, these storms here, history of some big time hail. Let's see what that Glenwood report. There is your 1.75 inch, a law enforcement reporting that. That was at the 4:37 time frame. So that history of hail moving right over the interstate corridor right now, as I'm still waiting for a little bit of this data to come in from the Minneapolis radar. Let's see if it does or does not come in. Okay, it's taken its time. Not sure what's going on here. We'll go ahead and go back to our other radar site here from Mayville up in North Dakota. Now, we do have some more storms to talk about, but again, what I do want to take a look at is some of the spin or rotation. Some of these storms are showing some weak signs of rotation. These are a long ways from any radar out there, but we do have some greens, bright greens next to the bright reds here moving right over the interstate right now on the other side of Melrose. So that storm there is severe. It is showing some spin or organized rotation with it, particularly right over the interstate, just off to the Sauk Center area, just due west of you right now, making its way across the interstate. So the warnings sometimes are coming out with this, what says tornado possible. This one does not say it, but a few of the storms have shown that tonight. We'll keep our eyes on the skies there. And in fact, one of the tools we have to do that is right from our departments of transportation in that area in Minnesota. So bear with me while we load up this to get you the latest information as far as what we can see with our own eyes here based on what's moving into the area. So there is your warned storm right now. We have a number of good views of this storm right here. Let's take a look from here. We can see the towering clouds starting to cast a shadow on the community. There's the dark skies out there over the billboards and such. We can see them not having much luck seeing any structure to the clouds, as these cameras, or that particular camera, focused more so on what's going on with the pavement out there, which is what these DOT cameras are supposed to do. Here's a look at the Sauk Center area on the DOT cam, and it is showing that we do have the gray skies moving in. Let's take another look. Oop, that's the same one. My apologies. All right, and that's on the hill. We'll have a tough time seeing there. So keeping an eye on this. If you do have any uploads or some reports to this, you can always upload photos. Like I just heard one coming in right now, so thanks so very much. So again, severe thunderstorm warning in and around Sauk Center, moving in towards Gray Eagle, moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. Seek shelter in that interior room. Stay away from windows and batten down the hatches as these storms approach your particular area. Now let's go ahead and peruse a little bit farther to the north now as we're continuing to...
Hutch Johnson with Hutch's...
My apologies, I pushed the wrong button. Let's go ahead and continue taking a look at these storms on the north side. Now, this one moving through Wadena County, heading right into the Nimrod area as we speak, and the radar shows that this storm system and cluster moving off to the north, a little more northerly and northeast, 44 miles per hour, 1.5 inch diameter hail. It does say tornado possible, and it's moving in the direction of you folks in Nimrod right now. I do have the velocity showing up on the display right now. Here is where we have some some shear in this storm. So if there is a tornado possible, this would be one possible location to be concerned. If you are in northern Wadena County, Nimrod would be a place where it'd be a good idea to get out of things like mobile homes and campers and keep your eyes on the skies. I think I have a bunch of pictures coming in right now, so I'll go ahead and update this in real time and see if we have any real-time reports from those of you out there. And it does look like I'm getting a few more from some storms from the early morning hours. So again, moving north and east. Now we do also see that this extends the warning all the way up into southern Hubbard County here. Park Rapids out towards Nevis, and then as you get up towards LaPorte heading into the Walker area, there again are some areas of weak shear, a little bit unorganized here. That's a kind of a broad shear. It's a wide rotation, if you will, but it is certainly rotating that thunderstorm moving there. So we have one thunderstorm cell down by Nimrod, one up moving up into Nevis, and another one with that same kind of shear marker moving into the LaPorte area. As we take a look at the regular radar data, we can see the individual thunderstorm cells. 1, 2, 3. This one with what's called a V notch in it, and that could be an area of rotation moving into LaPorte. A good hail core there, a good hail core or a large hail core moving into the Nevis area and the Nimrod area. So the threats from these storms as they move north until 5:15 are 60-mile-per-hour gusts and 1.5-inch diameter hail. If you get hail, please take time when it's safe to do so to find the largest stone you have, throw a ruler next to it, and measure the diameter of the largest axis of that hailstone so we know the magnitude of the hail that is capable of being supported by the updrafts that we have out there this fine evening on our Wednesday. So these again moving to the north at about 40 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and time these into your communities here. So this northernmost cell moving to the north is heading in this general direction here at 45 miles per hour and heading right up into LaPorte, 5:18. It will be near you, maybe even a little bit sooner. This is the central part of the hail core. So let's say 5:15, Cass Lake about 5:37. We also have Turtle River at 5:51 and on towards 10 strike where we have storms. So we got one storm here, you got another one following behind it, and another one as if they're hitched together like a train. And in meteorology, we have a term for this. It's called training. So this could lead to some elevated rainfall in and around Nevis to Park Rapids down into parts of the Sabika area here in Wadena County as those storms are kind of pulling right after each other, and they're going to be moving into the same area as it goes around the Cabacona corner right here and works its way up into the Bemidji area. So we do have this train of storms. Elevated rainfall totals will be possible. Here is a report of 1-inch diameter hail just to the south and west of Bemidji in the northern and western reaches of Hubbard County. And there was a hail report as well just off to the east of White Earth, and that was showing about 88 1/100 of an inch is nickel-sized hail. So nickel-sized hail was reported 10 miles to the south-southeast of Nadawash from that storm as it made its way through. Now, the line moving through Beltrami County, working its way out towards Cass Lake, Black Duck. Some cells are training their way through, but notice we don't have the bright blue markers on these storms or big-time hail cores. So these storms are kind of either reorganizing or weakening just a touch over what they were. But we do have Kelleher and on up to the north here, a cell that's in the, well, I guess it would be the Lake of the Woods County. No, Koochiching County, my apologies, as we take a look up here. So new warning for Koochiching County as well as your neighbors just off to the east there, as we see this storm warning is in effect until 5:45 for 1-inch diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Says here the storms are moving to the east, but I'm going to play the trick that we did last night with these storms, and that's look and see exactly the motion of the whole storm, not just the cells that are developing. Sometimes the Doppler radar gives us these speeds, and they're not too accurate with the direction of the movement. So if you take a look at the last couple of scans, these cells are moving this direction, northeast right here. This one doing the same thing. Watch it, it's moving northeast. So that's the movement of the individual cells. The whole line is indeed moving off to the east, but it's not quite as far. So storm motion about 24 miles per hour to the east, but I'm going to take a look at this. We'll look at this and analyze it here together. And that's what I have to do is called double checking, and it gives me, in my opinion, a better estimation of when it's going to reach your community out there. So let's go ahead and pop a look at these storm cells here that are working their way through and to the north and to the east, not just east. So This will be moving up in the northern reaches of the Coochin County area as you're approaching areas between Badette and International Falls. Kelleher with the hail core making its way over the area right now. I may need to stop this from looping so I can take a look at some of these cells that are working their way through. So this will populate shortly. There we go. So again, this shows these individual cells are moving northeast, not due east. So let's go and take a look at the average speed. This will give me a better estimate of when it arrives in your community. 37 miles per hour northeast for that cell, 1 inch hail, and 33 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour. These are moving northeast at an average clip of about 35 to 40. We're using 40 just to make sure you have plenty of time to prepare. Turning those cells off right now, and now we will actually analyze each little segment of the storm. This one, this hail core, boom, moving northeast. Let's use 40 miles per hour as we just analyzed. Now this is moving all into rural parts. There's no city list here, so we're talking rural areas of parts of Coochin County as you go up into the Rainy River area. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this next cell behind it near Keller, and that one is making its way to the northeast also. Well, let's start with this one. There's another cell right here, and that one's moving northeast. Let's go with 40 to 50 miles per hour. Let's go with around 45. This one is also moving over many rural areas, so we're going to likely see the same thing for the storm here, but it will be impacting Keller as we go into the next few moments here. So there's the leading edge of that one. We'll put it in there at about that 45 mile per hour clip, and it will be there by 5:14, maybe just a pinch earlier. It is on the doorstep right now. So you should be seeking shelter in Keller. Expect some hail from this core to move right near you. Because the radar is pointing and it's so far away from your location there, one thing that we're going to see is it's seeing hail up at elevation because the radar beam shoots up really high by the time we get out to this area. Could be as high as 2 miles up in the atmosphere, maybe a little bit more right here in this part of the northern and central Minnesota. Now, because of that, it's so high up in the cloud that hail may not actually be falling to the ground yet. Maybe it's an updraft that's just building and them hailstones are just sitting there juggling like the circus clown there up in the cloud and not falling on the ground. But needless to say, there is a core of some hail with some higher reflectivities moving into the Keller area right now, and that's that cell. Now, there's another one to the south that's moving in from Black Duck out here. Now, this one could be also producing some sizable hail. This one looks to be sliding off to the northeast, and it'll be shaving the area near Northome as we go through the next few minutes. Let's go ahead and get a bead on that particular cell. Again, this line of what looks like a solid line of thunderstorms is small individual cells. There'll be communities that are in between these that get nothing, and then there'll be communities underneath the downpour of these storms that do get something more than nothing, and we'll keep our eyes on this for you. This is moving in that Kelleher area as well, about 5:20. So you got a couple of waves moving through your area on towards Northome by 5:23. So please make sure you're in your safe place out there. Prepare for gusty winds, and also the warning is for that 1 inch diameter hail out there as we go through. What about shear in the storm? This is very far away from the radar site, but we will monitor that for you here on Hutch's Weather. And we're seeing a lot of motion toward the radar in Mayville, North Dakota, with only little pockets of red sitting next to it. I don't see any organized shear at this particular time with those storms, and that is a good sign there. But again, we're looking very high in the cloud. Sometimes these storms that occur in north central parts of Minnesota so far away from what's going on that we don't really get a good chance to see circulations near the lower part of the cloud. That is a look at all the thunderstorms that are severe right now in central Minnesota. Let's analyze what's going on for our neighbors here in parts of eastern North Dakota. Valley City, a stout cluster of storms with a hail core right over the area near Sanborn. As you go up north of Valley City and you're in the Lake Ashtabula area here of the Cheyenne River Valley, that puppy is glowing pretty bright there. Now let's take a look at the hail size estimates. There have not been any warnings for these storms as far as the hail core. Their intensity not as high, not expected to be as high, but a couple of factors in that could be the cloud top heights. The taller the cloud tops, the greater chance of some big time hail. Take a look at these heaters, strong storms out in central Minnesota. These brighter colors in the orange and the dark red showing Hutch that we do have cloud top heights. that are approaching 35, 40,000 feet out here. We're looking at 35 to 40,000 feet, 45 to 50,000 feet from this cell. So this one, the tail hook Charlie at the end of the whip of line of thunderstorms here, that's the tall bugger right there. And there has been some shear showing up in that one. And then look what's going on out here. Floodwood to Hibbing. That's a pretty good sized cell out there with as far as the cloud tops go. Some of these are indicating 45,000 foot cloud tops as well. That's making its way through your area. That looks like a strengthening storm to old Hutch Bob over here. I'll keep my eyes on that. Let's switch over to the Duluth radar if we possibly can here. See if my radar will cooperate this time. Last time it did not. And as we look for some radar data, maybe the radar there was sleeping for a while. Here we can see what's moving south of Hibbing, north of Floodwood. Strong thunderstorm working its way into the Meadowlands area and areas just south of Hibbing. If we loop this just briefly, we'll get a feel for what direction they're moving, and I can let you know in Virginia and the areas in and around Hibbing and point south towards Brookston where these storms are heading. So it looks like they're moving to the north and east, so we'll let that continue to populate there as we go through. So we got that flow or vector that these storms are going to be making their way towards. And now let's take a look at some of the speeds here on the most recent scans. So what I am seeing is an average rate of speed that's 39, that's 17, this is 21, we're all over the place, and 33. We're going with 35 miles per hour on the high end to make sure we're giving you enough time and to give you a more accurate view of when the arrival time may be. So let's go ahead and turn these cells off. Let's go ahead and use that average speed of about 35 miles per hour on that vector we were talking about. Here's a cell that's going to be shaving not far from you folks in the Hibbing area, moving north and east. We'll see it clip very close to you folks in and around Virginia. So let me redo that here. A new scan just came in. Okay, so this particular cell right here is making its way right to the east of the Hibbing area, moving towards Buell by the time we get to 536, and Kinney by the time we get to 539, 544, Leonidas, as well as Mountain Iron by 546 if it continues along its path. It could be in and around Virginia by 549, so that's that little cell. Now it's got a little neighboring cell that's right here that is going to get to Virginia a little bit earlier that's just looking like it's developing on the front side of the storm. Same thing goes here. So we're starting to see the train set up with multiple rounds of storms working their way through your particular area. So some areas may see waves of thunderstorm activity. We're going with the stronger ones right now. And again, we're keeping their movement at about that 35 miles per hour to the northeast. Meadowlands, 520. Iron Junction, 555. And then there's that Leonidas area about 6 o'clock. 6:01 to Eveleth as well. A chance for some severe weather working its way, or strong thunderstorm weather making its way into your area here by the time we get to 6:01, 6:07 for Gilbert, and on towards McKinley by 6:11. So that's that little cluster storms. Cloquet, we'll monitor this line here. Same thing goes. This is a whole line area here moving into the general direction of Duluth. We're popping a 35 mile per hour estimate for the speed. Carlton 522, Cloquet 525, Scranton 526, and then 537 for Oliver and Hermantown 544. Duluth Superior getting closer to that 545 time frame to 550. So keep that in mind. Now, these are non-severe at this particular time, but what are they producing? Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of Hutch's tools in the toolbox here. See if we get our pliers and we'll look at the hail tracker. What is the maximum size hailstone that the hail tracker's picking up? Just a couple of these cells, even though they're pretty tall, are showing indications of some hail potential in them right now. So just to the south of you folks in Hibbing, this cell that's crossing right between you and Floodwood, about 1.5 inch diameter hail. Now that doesn't mean that's what's going to reach the ground, but that's what it's saying there. This one on the same order, and there's a little guy down here with about 1 inch diameter hail just off to the east of Moose Lake. So again, these are moving to the northeast, some areas of hail that could approach 1 inch in diameter by the time it makes its way down to the ground. Just because my icon is pointing out a certain size of hail, don't always take that to the bank as what's going to be falling down to the ground by the time all is said and done here. Now, so as we take a look at the big picture and we're tracking hail cores, the tallest cloud I was seeing was on the interstate down here, I-94, and that is now the big winner as far as hail potential goes as well. Right over Sauk Center is this hail core. This hail core is being estimated to be dumping down the potential for 1 to 2 inch diameter hail as it's working its way in that general direction of you folks in Gray Eagle right now. So that's the hail core. When we get a big hail core, we can also get some pretty big wind potential with these storms as well. So please keep that in mind. Gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. A storm moving through south of Valley City. We got us a picture in on that. Thank you so very, very much, Paul. We may have time to show that in a moment. So hail, analyzing hail. What about the storms in North Dakota? Are we seeing some hail? Their cloud tops are lower. Look at this. We got a blank page out here right now. Let me switch the radar over to the Mayville area, though, and see if that makes a difference, because we're not going to see it from Duluth, that's for sure. It'll shoot right over the top of everything. So let's wait a moment while this is populating. No storm reports out there. We do have a view from Valley City, so we'll take you to that right now. Thanks to you for your reports. Again, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, if you're just joining. I've been covering weather as a chief meteorologist on broadcast television for the better part of 30 years here in the Northern Plains. And now I'm streaming with my own company called Hutch's Weather. This is from my website we developed over a year ago, hutchesweather.com. You can upload your photos here. You can also download my brand new weather app right here by clicking on the link that says download the app. We have an app available for you with the Androids or the Apple phones, so please keep that in mind. And you know what? It is an exclusive app that gives you early alerts to twisting storms, and it doesn't send it for every little twist. It's looking for the strongest ones. This is south of Valley City. Paul capturing this in North Dakota as the storms are rolling through. So again, these clouds in the distance tell a little story of the atmosphere, and so does this. See, these clouds are not super duper low to the ground, but they're not really, really high up there. So we have a little moisture in the lower levels of the atmosphere. These little towers in the background tell us a story too, that we're trying to see some rising motion throughout the atmosphere, but some of these storms not making it up very high before they start leaning and bending. So good to know. We're looking at the south and we got a wind out from the west. So these towers are growing up and then they're bending off in those gusty winds in the northern part or upper parts of our atmosphere. Melissa Huntley, and this is the Silver Lake in Foreman, North Dakota area. Not a bad looking day, enjoying the lake after the storm. So definitely something to behold there. Now it does look like we have I'll look at some clouds growing out there and a big time downpour that took place a little bit earlier in and around New Rockford, North Dakota, as these storms move through. So not to say that we don't have some moisture in the area to produce some heavy rains. No hail markers showing up at this particular time in North Dakota. So as we take you to the single site radar data here, we got a lot of lightning now from Walsh County, central part, not far from Lankin, not far from Park River, eastern parts of Nelson County and the Mackville area, as well as Cooperstown and the Highway 200 corridor here through parts of easternmost North Dakota as you're taking a look at this. So I don't know why I'm not seeing the radar data here from Mayville. Let me try that one more time. There we go. It'll take a second. Okay, so there we go. There is a look at what we have crossing the boundaries here into Niagara and pushing into parts of northwestern Grand Forks County here, north of the base. We're looking at Fordville, Park River. Park River, this will be moving directly in your general vicinity. I believe these storms may have a little bit more of a westerly movement to them than a northerly movement because we have westerly winds here. So that's indeed the case. Fordville, this is going to scrape by just to the north of you in Walsh County. It's making its way off to the east, I see here, and it does look like these cells are making, let me get a speed estimate on some of these cells as this populates here. And again, a little lightning out there. The hail cores, they're not reaching huge heights in the atmosphere. These cloud tops are not as high, so the risk of severe is pretty low. But we could be seeing some pockets of hail moving its way towards Pisac out here in parts of Walsh County. So just over the Lankin area. If you're in Lankin and you got a report for me, let me know. We'll go over a couple of your comments here. A half-inch diameter hail is going to be possible from that, the way that it looks. The risk of severe hail, very, very low. Severe hail is 1 inch in diameter. And we don't want that, but we'll take the rain. We'll take the moisture. Thank you very much. Again, the speed of motion of this is 17 miles per hour. This storm moving into the Niagara area right now. As you're getting into that Grand Forks County, we're looking at an 80% chance of some hail. 3/4 inch diameter on the largest size possible from that one. So that's a little more stout cell moving at a clip of about 25 miles per hour. These cells here moving in the general direction of the I-29 corridor into northern parts of Barnes County and Cass County, out of Barnes County, I should say, will be moving off to the east at 23. So we have an average speed about 20 to 25 miles per hour east to northeast for all of these cells. We do have some small hail markers. We do have a little bit of a, well, you can see the outflow boundary being thrown out by the gusts of wind with these storms as we go through the afternoon. Let's take a look at our peak wind gusts from the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. These are very helpful in us analyzing if these storms are getting picked up by any of them. This was the very early morning storms that moved through the Fargo, Moorhead area, Richland County, and on into Clay County, Minnesota. We also had some very stout winds in that Morris area, Benson down south, all the way up into southern and eastern parts of Otter Tail County in the wee hours of the morning. But as far as what we have going on with gusts right now, let me take a look and see what the current gusts are with these systems. And yes, we are popping some gusts over 40 miles per hour from these cells that are making their way off in this general direction at the current time. So this is looking in Griggs, Steele County area as those storms are fixing to move through. And if we go back to the radar, we can see that the gust front is working its way in that general direction. We should be able to see these from our North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network's series of cameras out here and from your series of camera photos that you upload or short video clips. Let's go into Cooperstown and take a look and see if we can see these cells. We are looking to the southwest, and the Cooperstown storms are not coming from that direction. You do see some wet fields there, and that's a bonus. Let's look at what's moving into the area of Pekin as you take a look up here to the north, and we do have that Walsh County view out there. This is looking to the northwest as we see those storms kind of clipping in from the left side of the screen. Grand Forks County and the Logan Center area here is what we're seeing as a bunch of cumulus clouds. These ones trying to grow up in the atmosphere, but really getting cut off and not having the ability to grow up too tall. And again, it is a kind of fun idea. Take a look at some of these pictures to see the depth of some of these storms making their way in. This is looking west from the Jamestown area. So we see just garden variety, fair weather cumulus clouds out there, and that's not a bad thing. Let's take a look at these storms. This is from western Cass County right now as we take a look from the air area. And there is the thunderstorms, not towering cumulonimbus clouds by any stretch of the imagination, which does tend to limit the size of the hail if they don't get up there where the atmosphere is super duper cold. So that's what we have going on right now. Taking a look at some ding dings that I'm getting here on the pictures coming in. Okay, we got some what looks like pretty good hail. Wadena. Let's go ahead and I will pass this along to the National Weather Service. You got to see this. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson while I effort to load up this photo that was just sent to me. Give me one moment. We'll get her on your screen here. I will take a moment to answer a couple of questions on the YouTube page. First, let's start there. Thanks so very, very much, everybody. This is Moose. A little bit of small hail, 3/8 inch north of Park Rapids, no wind. Thank you for your report. That storm heading to LaPorte just grazed us maybe. That might be it. It was on the other side. So Bemidji, lots of rain, no hail, thankfully. And that's I ditto that. That's what we could use a little more rain here in our neck of the woods in Fargo, Moorhead. Thank you for what you do, Hutch. Thank you very much, Jaden, for your kind pat on the back. It was just pea-sized hail and black duck, so thanks very much. And I really appreciate your report. All of this is very handy. So those cells moving in the black duck 10 strike area, making their way through, they are off to the east there just a little bit. I've heard that the barn that is in the Culver's commercials got torn apart by a tornado today. I saw it because of a show and a picture of the barn. Okay, thank you for your report, ZK Gaming. I don't know exactly what community that barn is in, but it might be Wisconsin, right? Because Culver's is a Wisconsin company. Just had a little pea-sized hail fall on us east of Nevis. Thank you very much for your reports there. Now let me show you some greater than pea-sized hail right here. Check this nonsense out. So this is what's going on. We'll get to some Facebook questions in just a second. But first, let's go ahead and check out this report. Where in the world did we get this hail? I don't know exactly the size. We can have people with really big hands or really, really small hands. So consider this. If this is a 4-year-old and it looks like the hand is full, that's not very big. But we know this looks like a big hand. Look at the rings that you can actually see through. We've got what we call rime ice or white ice, and we have glare ice, that clear ice out there surrounding different layer after layer. This is a big stone. Alana, thank you for uploading your photo. This is from Wadena, Minnesota, Wadena County. And as we take a look at this on Highway 10, the storm went through Wadena about 4:45. Lots of marble and golf ball sized hail out there. Thank you for your report, Alana. I do appreciate that. That storm now, and earlier we had analyzed it was moving through the areas north of town. near Sabika. So thank you so very, very much. This is a look at south and west of the Holly area at some of the clouds. You got this very low rider rainbow right there. Just beautiful. Craig, thank you very, very much. And you can see these clouds here outside of Holly not reaching very huge extents, but look at these little rain streaks coming out of these clouds. We got to have rain. And if you're going to have a rainbow, that means the light source has to be behind your head shining this way. Okay, so you got the sun right behind you. It's bouncing off and reflecting into the raindrops and back off the back of the raindrops. And it breaks the white light from the sun into all the colors of the rainbow there. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful view of what's going on out there to the north of Holly. A lot of gray skies, a lot of damage, and you can see here, if you peruse through on the site, you can upload your short video clips, you can upload your photos of storms in your area to help us meteorologists see what's going on. Back to the radar we go. Now we'll take a look at what's going on. These are the North Dakota storms, and again, those have been, for the most part, sub-severe. They're not as tall in the atmosphere, and because of that, we don't have the risk for severe that we do in our Minnesota counties. As we do take a look over the river into Minnesota, we do see some border storms now forming and moving into the Cavalier area at this particular time. I know we have a great view in and around Cavalier by taking a look at the DOT camera. So before we exit North Dakota, we'll take a quick peek at what this is showing us up there in the northeastern quadrant of the state. You get on that beautiful Highway 5 corridor, some excellent terrain, some hills, some bumps, and up towards Netchie. And well, we can't really see what's coming into the general vicinity of Cavalier, but that is a look at the skies in and around the area. Here we have some lumpy, bumpy cumulus clouds trying to develop in the what we call convection or rising bubbles of air. Then there's a storm right here that's having a little bit more luck. But again, these thunderstorms having a tough time pushing beyond a 30,000 foot height in the atmosphere for a few different reasons. We do have some pretty sharp winds in the upper levels as well. So here's a look at some of these storms. Again, the strongest one that we see right now is working its way in the general direction here of Gray Eagle. Let me get the radar up here. I can't talk to myself about the radar. We want to show it to you as well. So here we go. Oh, I see what's going on. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's go here. Okay, now we're looking at a look at rainfall. This is for today. We did get some light rain in the Fargo area. This is up at the north side of Fargo, 1900s, in and around Grand Forks, 1/3 to 2/3 of an inch of rain. We do have a little bit more trying to make its way through as we go into the afternoon hours. I hope we can build on it. I literally have 3 100ths in my South Moorhead rain gauge. And look at, as we get out towards Becker County, some much more appreciable rain showers taking place for our neighbors out in that neck of the woods. So those are a couple of things we're watching. Let me see here. I still am missing half of my graphics here. So let me see if I can pull them over. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, now I think I've got her fixed. Now I found the radar. Here's the storm that is working its way out of Gray Eagle. We got a new warning for this storm as it's moving right into Swanville right now. So we'll update you. The Gray Eagle area, that storm is out of the area. Now it's moving in the general direction of you folks in Little Falls. You can see the speed of movement of this cell is 43 miles per hour. It's moving off to the east, and Sobieski as well as the Flensburg area going to see this cell move very, very close. It doesn't look like a huge aerial coverage storm, but it still does have a hail core with it. And according to the National Weather Service, we're expecting the potential for hail up to 1.5 inches in diameter. That's a radar indicated wind threat of about 60 miles per hour. I got a tool on here that can help me take a look at some rainfall reports. This is a long ways away from the Mayville radar. Let me see if I've got a closer one. Let's try the Twin Cities, shall we? That'll give us a little bit better view of this storm. Now, when I use the tool, we see this storm popping up here near East Bethel. Look at this tail coming out the backside. As this hail and rain is collapsing, it's throwing out an outflow boundary heading toward the North Metro area here. Coon Rapids Shoreview has its own storm. It's going to be throwing out its own outflow boundary. So we have a few of these boundaries going out, and those can be interactive with each other. And sometimes we can see more storms form on the outflow from other ones. This one looks like it's got some hail potential as it moves towards Stacy and Wyoming on the I-35 corridor there north of the Twin Cities. A hail report here in the Twin Cities of 7/10 of an inch. That's 1 mile south-southwest of Minneapolis. Okay, so we got a spinning icon on here now, indicating that this storm is starting to show what we call mesocyclone properties, or it's a rotating supercell. So because of that, this storm is going to be capable of producing a little bit more intense hail with it, and it does not have a tornado possible tag on it at this particular time. But because of that, I am going to look at the spin in the storm and see what it's marking, and that's pretty easy to see from the Twin Cities shooting up this way that we have a pretty tight little couplet right there on the leading edge of it. So there is some shear going into the flow of the storm and out here. And in that boundary there, we've got right next to each other some pretty good spin. So this is located just a little bit south of that Swansville area. Let me go ahead and pull out my toolbox here and see if I can find out how far away that is as we take a look at this storm a little closer for you folks in and around Little Falls as it's approaching your area. So bear with me while I get out my tape measure. And on the tape measure, we're going to get that out. We're going to measure the rotating part of the storm. It's moving in the general direction of Little Falls. So it's about 14 miles off to the west-southwest of Little Falls. And as far as from Swanville, this is only about 3 miles outside of Swanville to the south and to the southeast. So that's where the storm is located right now. That's where the rotation in the storm is rotating. We do have a couplet with it. We do have a hail core with it as well. So let's time this out. And again, the speed of movement of that cell was showing up here as we take a look at it to the east, northeast. That's moving at 44 miles per hour on the latest analysis by the radar. 44 mile per hour movement to the east-northeast here like this is going to put us in and around the area of Uppsala by 536, Elmdale 541, Flensburg 542. Go ahead and get your pens out and time this when it gets to your area and mark in the comments whether it was close or not. I got some great feedback last night. Bolus by the time it gets to 546. Little Falls 553. If it maintains its strength and intensity, we'll keep you posted. But this is moving in the general direction of Piers as well, as we take a look at its motion towards Hillman on the far outside of the 1 hour time frame. So this warning is in effect until we get to 6:15, 1.5 inch diameter hail, 60 mile per hour gusts, and that storm is rotating. I would seek shelter, stay in an interior room. It would be advisable to go to the lowest floor with a little bit of shear showing up on that particular thunderstorm cell right there. So keep in mind, you'll want to make sure that you're heeding the warnings. Get out of things like mobile homes and manufactured homes. And we do have that little bit of a shear marker on that cell out there as it's going north of Albany on the I-94 corridor. It's moving off to the east-northeast towards Piers, towards Little Falls at a clip of about 45 miles per hour. So that's a look at that storm. We might be able to see a little bit more with that storm as we take a look at the Minnesota DOT cams. We tried this before, but let's see if we can have better luck this time with the storm. Here's the Warren County down here on the far south side. We do have a cell, a camera right here. This might have a look at it, it might not. So we're looking in town. We're not going to see much there. And this is in the Rice area, way out of bounds here. So I'm not seeing anything from that particular perspective. And it's far enough away from the interstate here. I'm not sure if I look from the Albany camera, if I'll be able to see that cell at all. And the answer is a negative for that as we are heading into the hour of 5:37. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for your comments, your photos, everything. All of it helps. Again, that storm is the strongest storm. It's moving right into the Little Falls area. It'll be a little bit of time as we just analyzed for you. Let's go ahead and go up north. We do have some storms making their way out and through the Walker area on Leech Lake. Here's a look at the regular radar data so you can see that the intensities on this, as I go back to the radar, are not nearly as strong as they were a little bit earlier. So that is a good sign. There is still a warning in effect. It's moving in the general direction of Federal Dam. It is over Leech Lake there. And so basically, the wind could be quite strong as it's moving this way and the winds coming out of the storm hit the east side of this lake. There's no trees on the lake there, obviously, to stop those winds, slow those winds or anything. So we could get some pretty good sized gusts on the east side of the lake. I will switch over to the Duluth radar. It will give me a much better view into the storm here. So yeah, we get a little bit better reflectivities from the closer radar here. These are higher reflectivities as it's moving into and over the Leech Lake area, now just east of Walker, heading in towards the Federal Dam area, Boy River, and Bena. We'll be seeing these storms. Moving off to the east-northeast at this particular time. These storms, again, have a little bit more of a northeasterly trajectory last time I checked. And as we take a look at the cells here with them, those will populate here momentarily. But again, we'll take a look at them because they may be moving a little bit more this way than straight out towards Reamer. There we go. So yeah, they're in a northeasterly direction. The average speed of these cells then looking to be about 45 miles per hour, 46 miles per hour. That's pretty good agreement there. 45 to 46 miles per hour is what we will estimate their movement to be. And let's go ahead and use that northeasterly trajectory to these cells right here. And boom, like this. So about 46 miles per hour. That puts it in the Bena area by 544, Federal Dam 546, and on towards Boy River at about 552. So that's what's going on there. Let me go ahead and take a look back. Hibbing, you got a stout thunderstorm cell in and around your particular area here, heading in towards the Buell area, Iron Junction. Not severe at this time, but there could be a hail core developing right now. It's right over the top of town. Moving in south of Duluth, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning taking place now. It's moving northeast right toward Duluth, 28 miles per hour, 1-inch diameter hail, and 60 mile per hour gusts with this particular cell. You can see Cloquet also has a cell, the movement of which is to the north and east like its partner down here. It's going to move right into town, and Carlton too. But the hail size, not necessarily severe. Severe is 1-inch diameter hail. 1-inch diameter hail is deemed to be severe. You can still get some pretty bad hail bonks, if you will, from nickel-sized hail and the like, and that's likely what we're expecting from that cell. Brookston also seeing a storm working its way through as well. So here's a look at the northernmost flank of storms as we continue to analyze International Falls here and the Rainy Lake area, seeing some pretty big time storms blowing their way out. There's a backward C shape, which could indicate we're having some gusty winds from the west, southwest, moving east, northeast at this time from this shape that we're seeing here. Big Falls in this line of storms, these are all moving northeast at a clip of about 45 to 50 miles per hour at last analysis. Let's see what the cells are moving at now. And maybe a little bit slower than they were previously, but let's analyze here. Nope, 37, 46, 36, 32. We're using 40 miles per hour as an average speed of those cells. So that will get us some information that could be helpful in timing these out for you. And that's what we'll do. So here is a look at the leading edge of the thunderstorm activity. And it's moving in this northeasterly direction at about 45 miles per hour. Big Falls, you are the community that's in the path. This would be the cell that would be making its way towards you right now. There's a potential for some significant hail from that storm. Now, as we take a look at what's going on from the National Weather Service, the warning's in effect for the next 4 minutes. I believe they had easterly movement of these storms. See, they're saying east at 24 miles per hour, but the individual cells you can see there are moving northeast. So this helps us time it out. These are the cells that'll be moving in your general direction. They still have some hail potential in them as they make their way through. So up to 1-inch diameter hail, Big Falls, and 60 mile per hour gusts will be approaching you and your area. And that does include Little Fork too. So we'll see if there's an update from the National Weather Service here shortly. Hail reports, I'm not seeing a ton coming out of these most recent storms. And then as we look into North Dakota, the thunder and the lightning is starting to push into Clay County now. Cass County here in North Dakota, right out of Barnes County. We also have some Steele County stuff. And now look at this. I do got a gust report here from Cooperstown of 60 miles per hour. So that storm made 60 mile per hour gusts. That's severe gusts. No warning was issued, but we do have a 60 mile per hour gust that came out of that storm there, making its way down the Highway 200 corridor there, it looks like, as it was working its way off to the east. So that storm is now blowing towards Hope and Findlay. I'm going to analyze the wind velocities in this storm. We'll look at Hutch's wind tool here really quickly and see what we got. Okay, so what we're looking at is wind estimates by the Doppler radar. These are actually measured by using the Doppler effect, and it can measure the wind that's blowing exactly towards Mayville. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these wind speeds that it's measuring up here. It seems to me that these blue colors or the bright green ones would be pretty good speeds here. So we got 56 mile per hour. So in pockets, in isolated places, we could certainly still be seeing some areas with some 60 mile per hour gusts. Here's a little pocket of 60 right in this particular area here. So yes, there could be still some strong gusts heading towards Mayville. The nice thing is I've moved my melon back a little bit. See this? That's called the cone of silence. And that is where the radar can't see data because the beam is so close to the ground, we get a lot of noise from the surface. And that is erased out with an eraser. Essentially, this is very, very close to the ground then that we're seeing these 60 mile per hour estimates. So I would say there's still the potential in pockets here of seeing 60 mile per hour gusts from this storm along and south of Highway 200. Here's the bright blue. Focus on that bright blue cluster. That's where we are seeing this core of gusty winds. Not everybody's going to see it, but in places we could see it. Just got a little update from the National Weather Service and a drink of water heading in Hutch's gullet. And again, thank you so very, very much for watching Hutch's Weather. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and for the better part of the last 30 years, I've been covering weather like this in the Northern Plains here as a chief meteorologist on broadcast television. And that's why now I'm very excited to have my own company called Hutch's Weather and serving you in the best way that I can. So along Highway 200, gusty straight line winds making their way into the Mayville area. And this bright blue area here is winds moving towards Mayville. In isolated areas, we could see some gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. So I'm just checking my data here to see if I've got any information on the cells as we work through. It looks like a new warning for Grand Rapids coming out, so we'll get to that. If you happen to be in the Highway 200 corridor as you're heading into the Mayville area and you have a camper out there and you're in the camper, some 60 mile per hour gusts could still be pretty stout and robust. And we do have a confirmed gust of that magnitude in the Cooperstown area. This is a strong storm. There's no warning for it, but that's why I'm here helping watch the storms for you. That's what's going on. Let me see if I've got any comments here from my friends right here on Facebook. It's been a hot minute, but my little window isn't working to show some of these comments. So give me 1 second while I load them up. I might have a better chance at seeing them. And in the meantime, we're going to put up the new warning showing up for our viewers up here in and around the Grand Rapids area. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, here's the new warning. I've got the colors on velocity right now, so let me switch that over. We'll switch it over to the Duluth radar if we can. Okay, so here you can see the storms that are crossing over into this area. We've had a cancellation of one warning, a Duluth warning that still remains in effect. So bear with me while I answer a couple of questions. We'll zoom out. We'll show you that we do still have storms working their way through the region right now. And this is a look at the watch. I'll bet you some watch counties got canceled. That's probably what my little noise was. Nope. The risk of severe weather in western parts of Minnesota is pretty low right now, as we'll take a look at our temperatures. We'll also take a look at our dew points. As those change on the backside of the storm system, our threat for severe weather changes as well. These are air temperatures that'll be populating here possibly shortly. We have temperatures in the 60s for Jamestown, Devil's Lake. We are in the 70s here in the Fargo area as we go through. And we do also see, as we look down here, straight down the central part of Minnesota, some 60s on the rain-cooled side of the storm and 70s. But look at what's going on. Brainerd, 88. There's a lot of buoyant energy in there when we have humid conditions and 88 degrees. So I think the severe weather threat in these areas is fairly low. We do have some storms out here that are drifting into this air that is a little bit more unstable, and that could kick off a stronger cell. So that's likely why we're seeing that watch not fall. These storms are not severe out here, although I would argue that this cell here moving toward Mayville right now could be popping out a burp of 60 mile per hour gusts as it works its way to the east. Your questions, let's start with a couple of those. as I'll let the radar try to loop as well as we go through. Whoopsies, I think I lost my comments here. Pardon my eyeballs. Okay, here we go. All right, so folks are saying here, let's see what we got. Most recently, we've got a gotta go charge the phone. Thanks very much. My brother had some big hail in Besida, Minnesota. Rita, thank you very much for your report. And thank you again, Brenda, for always watching Hutch's Weather and for your trust. I do appreciate you as well, Rita. Thank you so much. Rachel says the cells over Valley City and Jamestown, do you see these making their way to Norman, Polk, etc., Minnesota, trying to plan ahead for shelter? First of all, Rachel, they are heading in this general direction. They exist out here. I can switch the radar view over just a pinch so that we can see better radar data coming out of those areas. So this is a composite radar here that covers the whole area. While that loads, you'll be able to see. But again, these have been non-severe. Their heights aren't that good. But yeah, they are moving in this general direction of Polk County. This whole line has been marching east at a pretty slow clip. I am very hopeful for some rain here in the Fargo Moorhead area. We got pretty much missed by many of the last few storms, and I'll take any rain I can get. Grand Forks, you have some thunder and lightning making its way toward the base and Emerado right now, and that's what's moving in. So yes, they are moving in the general direction of Polk County. The motion of these particular storms being off to the east slowly. Let me put the cell markers back up on this if I can. Okay, so as we try to mark a couple of these cells or let it mark a couple of these cells, we'll see what it says here. It's thinking, calculating, recalculating. Okay, so we got a bunch of these cells. Moving into the Mayville area. And now as we take a look at what Mayville is seeing with these cells and their movement, I'm just going to try to time it out for you so you can plan in Polk County on the western side and eastern side. All right, I'm going to go away from my radar scene and let it refresh here just 1 second. Temperatures cooling down on the west side. And now let's go back to the radar. There we go. Okay, so it's not going to cooperate right now. The movement of these cells, though, as you take a look, we'll see if they're straight east. They have been really creepy crawly, not moving too awful fast. And you can, oh, there they popped up. So the cells are just thinking and it's starting to load them in. So I'm hoping that those come on in here in a second, but let's take a look at the most recent ones that I have information for. And these cells are generally moving off to the east at a clip of approximately 31, 30, 25. This one's moving a little faster here. About 30 miles per hour, okay? So if we take a look at how far you are from these particular storms as we go to the most recent scan here, what part of Polk County you're in, I'm not too sure, but these storms will be making their way at 30 miles per hour toward the areas. There we go. Okay, I'm not sure what my... Okay, so western Polk County and the Crookston area is about 37 miles away. These are moving about 30 miles per hour, so they'll be crossing through Grand Forks as we head out towards almost an hour, so 45 minutes to an hour into Grand Forks, and then it'll be a little over an hour to get to Crookston. If you happen to be in central Polk County, this line of storms is 60 to 65 miles away. That's 2 hours time. And then if you're out towards Fosston on the eastern reaches of Polk County here, we're looking at 85. So divide that by 30 and we're looking at about, let's see, 1 hour, 2 hours, and we're looking at closer to 2.5 hours before it gets out towards areas near Foston on that side of Polk County. I hope that helps and answers your question very much, and I thank you for your question. Let me see if there's a couple more here. Don't want to ignore all the Facebook crowd out here. Hope you got some rest. Hutch, very little, but I do appreciate it. And there's a busy time of year for all of us, right? And this is a busy time of year. Golf ball, Hutch, golf ball. Alana, let's see, where are we talking about? Oh, that was the picture. Alana, golf ball size hail, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I didn't have this window up while I was talking about your photo. Where's Pedro? He's getting outside and get some exercise between storms while he can, and that's a good thing for him. What about the wind gusts, 60? Winds gusting to 60, says Simon. Thank you very much. That's in Duluth. Yeah, you have a severe thunderstorm moving into your area, Simon. Thank you very, very much for always watching Hutch's Weather, and thanks for your support. And as we take a look at the storm cells here in your area, there's Grand Rapids getting some storms, and it looks like the warning for Duluth has been allowed to expire, and that's good. But Cloquet, that was a strong cell with a lot of lightning in it, and that was moving in your general area as well. I got to turn my line off. There it is. Okay, so we do have some cells working their way towards Cloquet. Those will be pushing right into the Duluth area once again as well. Big picture is always good to show, and let's go ahead and pop that up here. I'll put it back on the Mayville radar. That'll catch some of the storms on both sides. I don't know why my line keeps interfering with me. Let's go ahead and sneak over here. All right, good enough. Now, Mission area cast just had a little bigger than pea-size hail. Thanks, Angelina. Appreciate the report out there at the Mission area. June is our stormy month usually. It sure is. Between now and mid-July, we usually get the brunt of it. June is our wettest month on average, but Fargo, not so much so. Why does the radar on the website not extend to the current time? It stops an hour before the current time. Eric, I'll have to look into that. I've seen that once or twice before. There is also a thing on the website where it will project out to the next hour or two. And I know that sometime it's been having some problems doing that. I will check with my development team on what's going on with that. Why does your radar on the website? Oops, quarter size hail just north of Sabika too. Before 5 p.m., some ping pong balls as well. Corey, thank you very much. I'll see if I can pass that along to the Weather Service. It is a team effort here covering weather in the Northern Plains. Here's my Weather Service window. Let me pop that up. And you have about 5 p.m. ping pong to golf ball north of Sabika. How far north of Sabika, if I might add? Just north. I'll just use that. All right. Thank you very, very much. Grass is nice and green. Mine could be a little greener, but that's what we got. Thanks so much to everybody. Thank you very much. Looking nasty and Leonard, it says here. Sabrina, just a couple of minutes ago. Thank you for your report. Let's go ahead and take a look at Leonard and see what's coming your way. This all is making its way in the general direction of Fargo. You see how these little arrows or cones of uncertainty are heading into and near Fargo now. These are the individual cells. Here's the Leonard area. That cell's moving in towards you. The stronger cells are in northern cast. These ones may just be developing. Now, again, we could have these storms move through and meander their way around and skip around Fargo. It just depends on where it builds up to the west of us. If it collapses before it gets to town, that's what happened in the overnight hours, as West Fargo had a little bit more in the way of rainfall estimates than we had here, and measurements, I should say, so keep that in mind. And now we got another shot at some hail. These are moving a little bit more northeasterly, and their speed of movement is about 43 miles per hour there, 39 there, so we're going to average that at about 40 miles per hour. There is some hail possible in and around the Arthur area here. Hail size of a half inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. There's an outflow boundary, so a roll cloud sneaking out over the Arthur area right now. And this next round of showers and thunder showers are making their way towards you. We had a line of storms form not far from Fargo and move through earlier. Again, South Moorhead getting missed entirely by that. So with the speed of movement, on average, about that 40-mile-per-hour rate or so, let's go ahead and time this line into the Fargo area. This is not saying any one community is going to or is not going to get rain from this line of storms. That was a terrible line. Let me see. Focus, Hutch. Oh, no. All right, try again. Okay, I see your comments coming in, and thank you very much. All right. So moving in and around that 40-mile-per-hour mark, we'll put this near Castleton at 611, Kindred 619, Mapleton 622. We have Harwood and Horace in the path of this storm. These areas will be seeing that as we get into about that 6:30 time frame. Same thing for West Fargo, 6:40 for Fargo is what we're expecting. If we have a chance, is it severe? No. Could it bring rain? Oh, please, bring rain. Dilworth, 6:45. The storm will be on its direction and heading in our general area as well. Mayville seeing that gusty storm. So remember, this one was pumping out some 60-mile-per-hour gusts as it made its way through Cooperstown. It looked like there was a core of 60-mile-per-hour gusts that's just arriving. But see this? This outflow boundary has this backward C shape to it. That is caused by that 60-mile-per-hour burp of air as it's worked its way through. We have a couple of outflow boundaries thrown out by these numerous thunderstorm cells. So you're going to have a couple of waves of cells move very close to the Mayville area, the Hatton area, Northwood seeing a pretty steady cell there. And right on the county line of Grand Forks County, as we look down to your south near Hatton, there is a hail core there that could be producing some half-inch diameter hail. So that's what's moving into the Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, Fargo area. We'll time what's coming into Grand Forks now too. These cells having an average speed of movement of about 28, 29 miles per hour as well. We got a stout cell up here in and around the Emerado area. We'll time this one first. So we'll leave that speed right at about that 25 to 35 miles per hour. Gilby 602, Emerado 603, Manville on towards 624. Grand Forks and East Grand Forks expect that storm by the time we get to the bottom of this hour, 6:31, if it's indeed in the 6 o'clock hour. It just crossed into 6 p.m. So Alvarado on the outside, about 6:45 for you. So that's what we have going on right now. And that line on the southern side of the county is also working its way into your general direction. Right now, again, not severe with these storms. The number of severe storms moving into parts of central Minnesota has decreased as well. This part of the storm on the southern half of Grand Forks County, Larimore 603, as we look towards Emerado 618, Reynolds and Thompson by 624, and Fisher and Crookston on towards 644 to 655 in western Polk County is a look at what's going on. So this is a look at the radar. We'll keep our eyes on the skies. Deer River, we're seeing a severe thunderstorm warning for your area. This is in effect until 6:15, so for the next 15 minutes or so, and that's what we have sliding through the area at this particular time. Here is a look at the big picture where Wisconsin has seen some big storms, and look at this huge Boeing line segment blasting through Milwaukee, Green Bay, and heading into western parts of Michigan now, in and around Grand Rapids, down to Portage, and straight down into the northwest corner there. We remember Chicago is in the path of those. A number of severe thunderstorms kicking off tornadoes not far from Kirksville, Missouri, Ottumwa, Iowa, and Keokuk, Iowa in that area right now. So a number of tornado warnings showing up down here as these storms are working their way through parts of Iowa right now. Public called in the report near the area of Lucerne. We also had a couple reported in and around the Moulton area, and now that's going to Keosauqua, pardon me. And then again, LaBelle seeing some strong storms. So these are blasting out towards Waterloo, Muscatine, Iowa, as well as Davenport out there. Wilton seeing some stout thunderstorms. So severe thunderstorms have moved more off into the eastern reaches of the northern plains, and we also have them moving through the Great Lakes region right now. Garden variety showers that are welcome in the Great Falls area showing up. And look at this, just north of Montana as we go out into Saskatchewan and out towards Alberta, we have a solid line of showers making their way through that area. Stout thunderstorms north of the border here for those in Ontario. This line of storms does have a risk of severe. We have a Reamer area thunderstorm warning in effect right now. And a quick look at that watch. We'll put the watch back up here too. Look at this. We were just talking about this, but we're shaving off these counties for the severe thunderstorm watch now. No more as they're concerned for severe weather from Bemidji through Polk County. So these are at times briefly stout thunderstorms, locally heavy rain. Gusty winds from these storms could reach close to 60 miles per hour. Folks, that's severe. So some gusty wind potential working its way through from time to time, and very isolated spots have been recorded tonight, but that's about it. And that's what's going on right now. And as we take a look together here, let's go over the forecast. And this is what we'll do. Give me a moment while I load this up here. And here we go. Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. And if you are just joining us, we're going to talk about the forecast right now as we have showers and thunderstorms, severe thunderstorm potential out in the northeast quadrant of Minnesota and out into Wisconsin right now. The severe weather threat ending here, although we have a line moving through the Red River Valley as we head through the 6 o'clock hour. Storms are rocking into places like Grand Forks and Fargo. These have isolated gusts to 60 miles per hour. Some of these storms have the potential for all modes of severe weather. We have had numerous reports of hail in central parts of Minnesota from these cells. So as they move into the Arrowhead, that'll be the number one risk, 1 to 2 inch diameter hail from these cells. Gusty winds on the order of 70 miles per hour could be possible from a few of these cells rolling through the Northlands and the Arrowhead of Minnesota as we go through the evening hours. And as we take a look at the temperatures with these storms right now, this is what we're seeing. We do have air temperatures that have cooled into the 60s right now. That 90 is an error, I think, for Jamestown. That 64 as it updates, 77 in Hallock, 66 in War Road. The Park Rapids area seeing 75 degrees. Look at the Twin Cities. It's 90 there, even though some storms move through. 88 to 90 degrees. Fairmount all the way in towards the Mankato area, pushing out towards Red Wing. And now rain-cooled weather in Eau Claire all the way to Rice Lake and all the way up to Ashland, where we have a 59-degree reading right now in Duluth, thanks to some severe thunderstorms that moved through moments ago. So still very hot air out here in southern Minnesota and western parts of the state of Iowa into Nebraska, and dew points there in the 70s. This is juicy as juicy can be. So get yourself a Minneapolis Juicy Lucy at your favorite restaurant and check out some of these sticky air in the Central Plains right now, fueling the strong to severe thunderstorms. Things very dry. Look at this. Dew points down in the 30s. That's about as dry as you can get this time of the year. Those dew points are more akin to something we see in the fall or in the very early time of spring. That is a very dry air mass moving into parts of northern Montana, parts of Wyoming, with a dew point of 18 degrees right now in Casper. That's about as dry as a dusty, sandy road in the middle parts of the desert of the Arizona. So that's what's going on there. Now let's take a look at our forecast, and we're going to take a look at a forecast model together here as we go through the next few hours and into your day on a Thursday. Here's what you can expect. Number one, we do have showers and thunderstorms in a line through the north central parts of Minnesota. Showers and thunderstorms pushing into Wisconsin and parts of Iowa as well. Garden variety rain showers and a cold northwest flow over parts of North Dakota. So let's take a look at the model here that we want to use. I will pull up this one, and here is our forecast as we go through the evening hours. Our valley storms will move off into Minnesota. They'll be isolated in nature, but again, gusty winds up to about 45 miles per hour possible. Severe weather by the time we get to the 8 p.m. time frame will be rolling out of the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Meanwhile, northwest winds and a cool flow across Montana will persist into the overnight hours. Passing showers out west as we head towards daybreak, and as we get towards 6 o'clock, there it is. Boom, a few showers here. This is a trough of low pressure, these little bends in the isobars, meaning north winds changing and become westerly winds here. We'll see some passing clouds, but it does look like a pretty quiet start to our day, and much cooler in places like Bismarck, Minot, the Red River Valley counties, as well as parts of northern Minnesota, seeing much drier and cooler air working its way through. Now, as we continue with your forecast here, we're going to see our rain shower chances move into Minot to Bismarck as we go into and towards your lunch hour. And here in the Red River Valley, we'll have a few spotty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, stronger northwest flow as that cold burp of air starts punching in. This is a drop in temperatures working its way in from the north and from the west as we go through the day. So this is what we're looking at as far as our conditions, passing showers going into Thursday as we head towards Friday morning. Gusty northwest winds bring a cool burp of air into the region that is set to last. So let's take a quick look at your temperatures and the impact on those as we go into your morning time frame. Here we go. As we take a look at this, we're looking at about that 6 to 7 time frame here as you're getting out the door on the way to work. We have some 40s out here in the high country out near Devil's Tower. We have the low 50s in the western Dakotas to mid 50s and near 60 here for some of us in the valley. The warmer weather has some 60 to 70 degree temperatures first thing in the morning as we rock into the day, heading into your Twin Cities area. Afternoon high temperatures will be a little bit on the warmer side as we go here, but we're not talking about the heat of 90s. We're only talking 70s here. Some 60s up in the Northern Valley and a few 60s as those showers pass through as we go through your afternoon. So that's a look at your temperatures as we go through your day on your Thursday here in the Northern Plains. Now, as we take a peek at what's going on with the extended forecast, I'll get out the old European model because it's looking good, and it looks a little bit on the drier side as well, but it also looks on a significantly cooler side on the extended forecast trend. So here you go. As we take a look at the extended forecast, I want you to focus on our risk of cool air making its way in. Passing showers as we go through Thursday. Northwest winds into Friday keep the whole area cool with spotty sprinkles and spits of precipitation. Now, as we head into the better part of the weekend here, heading into your Saturday, north winds continue to flow through and around the backside of this low pressure system up in the northern Great Lakes. From time to time, we'll see these little waves of light shower activity moving in with little wrinkles or wiggles in the weather. I call them weather wiggles for a reason. It's a little wrinkle in the jet stream, if you will. So that could cause these little bands of passing precipitation to move through Saturday afternoon. Then as we go into Sunday, as we go through the afternoon, gusty winds from the northwest. It's going to be breezy. It's going to be cool. And I do see high pressure out in the mountainous country there of northern Wyoming, keeping things quiet for the most part. North winds continue but decrease into Monday. Spotty showers and storms in the forecast period. You start to see red lines return, and that's a little bit of a warm up as a southwest wind starts to return. A low pressure system moving through Brandon, Manitoba as you go into your Wednesday time frame brings a chance for a spotty shower or thunderstorm back into the region, but it also will return some north flow as we go into Thursday and into Friday. That is a look at your forecast real quick here. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for watching me. I'll continue to cover our weather here as the storms exit through the region as we go through your Wednesday evening. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and I will keep you apprised of the very latest right here.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist.
Chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts. When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm. We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill, take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live with eyes on the sky. We stand by your side through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch is the weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you, no matter the storm. Anywhere, anytime, our HutchesWeather.com.
You won't find any hype here. Just the data, the radar, and the truth. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather for your severe weather updates. While Hutch resends the maps, make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a critical update. We're back real soon to keep monitoring the threat. Stay weather ready. You're watching Hutch's weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live with eyes on the sky. We stand by your side
Don't wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch, it's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch is weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
You won't find any hype here. Just the data, the radar, and the truth. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather for your severe weather updates. While Hutch resends the maps, make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a critical update. We're back real soon to keep monitor of the threat. Stay weather ready. You're watching Hutch's weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side.
Wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports, the Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch, it's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep those reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and do a little update as storms are approaching the Fargo, Moorhead area and Grand Rapids. We do have some hail to report to you, a new one in outside of the Walker area. We'll get into what's going on right now as we continue our coverage here on Hutch's Weather. Thanks for all of your photos. I do have some to share with you from a little bit earlier, but for now, taking a look at the watch warning considerations right now. All warnings have been allowed to expire for this, a very long line of multiple thunderstorms, each individual cell moving from southwest to north-northeast, but the whole line tracking off to the east. Here in the Red River Valley, from the Pembina border crossing straight down to the Richland County border, solid line of spotty thunderstorms out there. None of these have been severe, but I will say we did get 160-mile-per-hour wind gust measured out there in Griggs County in the Cooperstown area. Tornado report out here from a cell that we were talking about right here on Hutch's Weather with very good spin in it right there. So we'll go in and take a look at this, and then we'll get you the latest and what's going on in Grand Forks. We did get the tornado report down here as the storm moves through the, well, let's see, what is that? Sobieski, okay, and 1 mile to the east-southeast. It was a funnel cloud report, so there was some rotation in that indeed. It did not touch down as far as we know, so that is good news there. Those storms are kind of waning in intensity as they move towards the south side of the Mille Lacs area and the Vineland and Anamia area. Now as we go out to the far east into the far west into the Red River Valley, Oslo, a big time storm. I'm getting reports of what looks like a wall cloud out there in and around the Grand Forks area as the storms are approaching. Now these generally have had a movement as we've gone off through the afternoon to the east northeast at about 35 to 30 miles per hour. So we'll double check that real quickly as we load back up the radar data here from the Mayville radar so we get a close eye look at this. Now, again, the radar data showing me the movement of the individual cells. I like to use that as opposed to sometimes what comes out. So we do have in Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, what looks like a line of thunderstorms, but the most stout ones are on the north side, just moving out of Manville and heading through Alvarado. This is a pretty good little hail core over here as it moves into the area that's popping along this line. Again, the average speed of movement is easterly, and this one is moving generally about 23 miles per hour. This one 30. This one 30, and this one about 30. So generally, the average speed of movement, we're going to put at about 30 to give you the best. Let's look in Marshall County. So if you happen to be in the Marshall County area, moving at about 30 miles per hour. So this storm is going to be in Argyle at about 642, Stephen and Warren by around 645, on towards Viking at 717, Newfoundland 724. This one could have hail up to nickel sized, maybe a little bit larger in a couple of those stones. So if you get a report, pass it along. Big time hail from a couple of storms out in Wadena, but none of these storms here have produced huge hail, but there is likely a hail core moving north of the Alvarado area. So we'll take a look at that while I take a look at some other content that I like to keep my eyes on here. One moment. Okay, so keeping our eyes on these storms as they're making their way through. Alvarado, just north of you, a pretty good sized cell heading in towards Argyle and Warren at about 30 miles per hour. We just timed out that one. Now let's look at what's going into Grand Forks right now. From Manville down through Grand Forks, generally moving off to the east at about 30 miles per hour. This storm will be in Grand Forks at 6:33, so it's moving in now on the west side of town, and it'll be in East Grand Forks by 6:34 with this speed of motion. A little bit of lightning with it, some small hail and isolated places will be possible as it makes its way through. And now let's look down to Climax, crossing the border heading towards Crookston. I had some questions asking about this line of storms moving off to the east close to 30 miles per hour. 6:30 for Climax, Shelley at about the same time, Nillsville about the same time. Beltrami, you have a storm coming in towards your area, but it could pass just a little bit to the north of you. We'll see. This is the small cell right here, so it may miss you guys on the north side of town between you and Crookston. I'll keep my eyes on that for you. And now as we take a look at that Halstead storm, let's see where that one's going. This one is over the Halstead area or crossing the Red River Valley right now, pushing its way out towards Ada. It's moving at that clip of about 30 miles per hour. We'll be in Halstead, 6:31 here, so momentarily. Hendrum, 6:34, on towards Ada as we get into the midsections of Norman County and Gary by between 7:03 and Gary by 7:28. So now let's take a look down here as we get in towards Pearlie, Georgetown, Argusville, and areas north of Fargo. These cells are on the doorstep, and by golly, we might get some rain in parts of the FM area. So here we go, moving off to the east-northeast at a clip of about 30 miles per hour. West Fargo, 6:32. It's on the doorstep. Harwood, 6:34. Frontier, 6:35. Riley's Acres, 6:35. Fargo, Moorhead, 6:42. So mark your clocks now. You got 7-8 minutes. Not severe. It's not severe. There is a little hail core on the north side of town that could be making some, let's call it 3/4 inch diameter hail or so. Down near Horace, we'll time that out for you, but moving through Horace and through Kindred is a little bit of a cluster of cells too. Dilworth, 6:50 on towards Glendon. Dilworth by about 7 o'clock and just after is what we're looking at here in the FM area. We got this faint green line. That's an outflow boundary from the gust of winds. These storms moving along the Highway 200 corridor, when they moved through Cooperstown up here, did produce a 60 mile per hour renegade wind gust. So that can happen sometimes with these storms. Now let's take a look at what we have going on down to the south side of the Fargo Moorhead area. So moving into the Fargo area, we'll kind of draw it this way. Moving out at about 30 miles per hour, we'll put this. Horace, 6:32, that's right now. So you got some wind and hail right on the doorstep on the west side in the Cheyenne River Valley here. Frontier, 6:41. Christine, 6:42. Prairie Rose, same time. Briarwood, same time. 6:44 as we get down in towards Comstock, same time. And then Wolverton, 6:48. And Barnesville, way out there at 7:14 as it works its way out across the Red River towards Sabin and Barnesville. Keep our eyes on that. Again, it's a small cell right here. They pulse up, they pulse down. So by the time it gets to you, it might look like it splits or falls apart. And that's certainly a possibility with the storms. Again, I do want to point out, these are non-severe storms and they have not been severe. Again, we did have one burping out some big time wind out there. And then on the back side of it, we're starting to get some beneficial rain. So, I'm hopeful that some of our communities will get another drink of water out there. And I'm really hopeful to hear on the southern side because old Hutch's lawn is mighty crispy. I like barefoot walking in the lawn, and I don't like to get that crispiness with blades of grass and cactuses poking me in the toes. Ain't got time for that. Here we go. This line is moving across Polk County here. This was an outflow boundary, and now it's becoming a new line of thunderstorms. So you've had that question before and asked and answered. All right, yeah, praying for farmers indeed. We definitely want the rain, though. This could be a multi-million-dollar rain for some farms across the area where it's been very dry for some time. And I know that some of us are frustrated because we get missed. That includes old Hutcherooski right here. I'd love to see more rain make its way down in the Fargo Moorhead area. I know there are some areas that got missed by our storms earlier. And to show you a little view of where the storm's estimated rainfall has been, we'll let this load up here and we'll take a look at the storm total precipitation estimates. Our early storm, there was one little narrow pencil band of some heavier rain that moved through the FM area as the storms made their way through. And this looks like it hit the west side of town first. And here's Hutch and South Moorhead. That's what I got, a gust of wind and maybe 17 raindrops, just enough so that the dirt blowing through the air stuck to all my cars that I just washed. That's how it goes sometimes. All right, Ada, on up to Fertile there. The little purple specks you see there, 3/4 of an inch of rain, on up towards an inch of rain in a few spots out there. Gary, up to Fertile, eastern parts of the county, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Get her into the brighter colors here, and we might even have an 1.25 inches in a few places out towards Erskine. In Polk County, that went up right through the Thief River Falls area, a good 1/2 inch to an inch for many along the path of that. Look at that cell. You just follow it right up through Roseau County, and many of those areas seeing a 1/2 inch to an inch of rain. What's moving through parts of eastern parts of North Dakota from Stutzman County, generally seeing a 1/10 to maybe 2 or 3/10 of an inch, and in some lucky places, isolated 4/10 of an inch. This little guy up here popped a nice little drink of water down near Laverne, estimated at about 3/4 of an inch. So narrow bands of rain for some, and then in between we got mist. So the North Dakota storms have been a little bit more on the air side of not as much rain, but they are making their way into the Red River Valley now, and we'll take it. We'll take any rain they have. Let's take a look at your camera views here as we take a look what's going on with these storms as they approach, starting with Grand Forks. Let's go up and take a look at the NDON, North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network's network of cameras. And this is fantastic to see what we got coming out of Emerado. This is looking to the southwest. So that's Emerado on the backside of the storm with all of the rain back there. Notice that not everybody is showing rain. The radar points up at the clouds here and we see some clouds, but the radar may see raindrops inside those clouds. Look, they're not making their way down to the ground. That's how the radar can show rain over your area, and you might be getting missed because you're in the part of the storm that has an updraft and it's building at that particular time. So that's a look from the west side of Grand Forks. Now let's look at Warren. Whoa, so here you go. You got a big dumper taking place right here as we look from the area Warren camera there, 6 miles to the southwest. You're looking northwest in that general direction of the Red River Valley. So as you're looking out west of areas south of Warren, these might be heading in your general direction. A break here where there's an updraft, and boom, another gully washer right there of some heavy rain. So these are some pretty good rain producers. A lot of lumpy, bumpy clouds in those stells as well as they work their way through. So we'll take that rain. Let's look at these storms from Crookston. Here you are looking to the west, the sun right over the top of the clouds. This illustrates just how shallow or low topped these thunderstorm cells are. They're not 40 or 50,000 footers out there, or at least they haven't been. Higher base, this illustrates the fact that they're higher off the ground because our air is a little drier than it was yesterday. And it takes a little longer for those raindrops to make their way down to the ground. But indeed, we have pockets of no sun shining through. And because we have no sun shining through beneath the base of that clouds, there are some areas of good and beneficial rainfall that helps our crops turn a little bit green and grow a little higher. Thank you very much. Now let's take a look at what we have going on here. I got to kind of keep up with your pictures because I think I'm hearing ding-dongs that tell me that we might be getting some more in and some more reports in. So thank you very much. All right. All right. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Okay, making sure everything's working here. So that is a look from the Crookston area at the approaching storms. Now let's go down to Fargo, Moorhead. This is looking west from Fargo on the north side of town. There's like a bubblefish view here, but we do have that definite darkening sky out there outside of the Fargo area. Let's go to another one that's off towards Prosper, and we're looking off in the direction to the west. So we're seeing the clearing of the skies and the clouds making their way through that part of Cass County. Just to the west and north of Fargo. Here's Castleton. Oh, that's on the clear side of the storm. All of the rain is behind you as we take a look at what's going on there. There are not storms on the radar down here. Let's take a look at what's coming into central and southern parts of Polk County. There's the fertile area, and this is looking west. So you got the sun right there in the beam. Look at the pancake shape to these cumulus clouds. These are pretty shallow thunderstorms, but boy, they're good rain producers out there. Rising, forming rain quickly and dumping it out, and that's a beneficial thing, as we could certainly use the moisture on our crops. And you know, with all the wind we've had kicking up dust, hopefully we get enough of this to be a little bit more helpful with that. Here's a look at Underwood as we look out in the Lakes Country, Ottertail County. We go up out here in the Rolog area here. We got a little bit of a blurry look out there, but the sun looking to the west, showing us the setting sun on our day. That's what's going on there. Thunderstorms rocking their way into Marshall County, Minnesota, working their way into western Polk County, and right into the Fargo Moorhead area right now. So we'll take a look now at our DOT cameras in Fargo just to show you what's coming in. I think I hear a little bit of rumbling and bumbling out there, and the wind is kicking up just a little bit with this cell as it's pushing its way into the Fargo Moorhead area. Let's get on over to the FM on the west side of town and see how much rain we're getting with this. Again, on the west side of town is where we had heavier rain from our storms last night. Looks like we got some lower clouds here and there, some rain shafts making their way down the pavement here, looking dry thus far on the I-94 bridge exit at Main Avenue there in West Fargo. So that's what it looks like there as we peer around. Kind of the same view in all directions. Now, as we get a little farther into town here, not far from the fairgrounds, let's take a look at this. Some darkening skies, and we can see some rain shafts north of town, a few here, and then some drier clouds that are well high off the ground compared to what was coming through during the overnight hours, thanks to elevated dew points. Now we're turning into Fargo here as we see, oh, we got, it looks like a wet sidewalk there with little pockets of water drops hitting the rain. So we might be getting some rain showers at that part of the town. And then as we look in different directions, now we can see it. So very wet at I-94 at Cheyenne. We got a nice, good soaking shower in the west side. Look at things greening up, and even enough rain to get some pooling in the ditches over here as we're looking into your area. So a good rain shower out there as we're looking out through the West Fargo area, with more to come as we're looking off in that general direction. Let's take a look at another view from that same camera if we can see it. Nope. Okay, so we're getting some raindrops starting to make their way down to the ground there. Here's another view from Fargo and 9th Street. Again, higher cloud bases out there. They look dark and ominous, but they're not very deep or thick. They're pretty shallow thunderstorm clouds, but they sure are pretty good rain producers, and we'll take it. I hope we can get some here. Looking on the north side of Fargo as we get out in the general direction of the airport. Let's go up here north on I-29 and see what we can see there. And there is a shower as we look at the 12th Avenue exit, looking off in the distance, heading its way into that general direction. So not bad there. That is a look at our rain shaft and showers from around that 12th Avenue exit at I-29 here. Of some of those showers, it looks like more so on the south side of Fargo, as this one's looking, I believe, to the south. Out there. Now, as we take a look here, we got some heavier rain showers showing up there in places. Again, hit and miss, right? That's the story of the day. As we get out here just a little bit farther than east of town, as we go into the Fargo exit at 25th Street. Yeah, we're looking off to the west, and we see a few areas of some pretty good rain showers pushing into the Fargo area right now. Hopefully you get some rain, and hopefully that's all we get is rain. A little bit of hail possible from a cell that's working its way up into the Warren area right now. So as I show the radar back to you here, as it's crossing through the Red River Valley, through Grand Forks and through the like. We do have this cell on Highway 1 between Oslo and Warren, right on the county line with Polk County here, showing some thunder, lightning, and it's passing through East Grand Forks right now, heading into Fisher. And then as you're going down towards Crookston Climax, you have a cell that's moving out. This is moving east. It'll clip the south side of the highway corridor 72, I believe, as we go in towards the south side of Crookston. So that's 75, rather, my apologies. And then yeah, that's what we got going on. Big time storms exiting from International Falls down to the south. Fewer tornado warnings till we get off into parts of Wisconsin, where we do have some Rice Lake storms that have blossomed up here. A lot of hail reports coming out of this puppy as we go in towards the area south of Frederick. And here we go. This is pardon me. There we go. Okay, so we do have 1 1/4 inch diameter hail in Lindstrom, right in town, being reported. Photo report via public out there. Forest Lake, 1 inch diameter hail from this cell. So this one is a hail producer. 1 3/4 inch diameter hail in Chisago City out there. North of the area, we also have some hail being reported in Taylor Falls of around 1 inch. And that's what we got going on with that 1 inch hail storm. It's heading its way in towards the Turtle Lake area and Cumberland out there in the western parts of Wisconsin, just across the river into your state. So that's what's going on. Big time heavy thunderstorms there. I'll look at the watches that have been in place in our area real quickly. And we did the forecast last time. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will make an effort to get that information out to you. Let me see if I've got any interesting pictures. I do see I got a video clip here. Why don't we go to that? All right, let's see here. All right, very good. Boom. Thank you very much for all of you who have uploaded photos. Here's a few more of those as we're continuing our coverage here on Hutch's Weather. This is hutchesweather.com. This is where you can upload photos, but you can also do it from my brand new weather app. So here's the download button. Head to my website, hit download the app, and you'll find versions there for you folks with Androids and for you folks with Apple phones, both of the above. Here's a look at some photos that you've sent in here in the last few moments. This one, as storms are approaching the northern Cass Lake area. Angelina sharing this. Lots of clouds rolling in super fast, and they do have an ominous look out there as we're checking things out again from the Cass Lake area out there. Thank you very, very much. Now, as we take a look at what's going on, here's a little South Grand Forks video, and it just gives us the idea of some of these clouds. We have a high base thunderstorm, meaning the clouds are higher off the ground than what we had the last time they were making their way through. And again, we do have no rain showers seen in this particular area, but there are some, it looks like, maybe off onto the west side of town there. So keep in mind, not everybody's going to get the rain. I sure hope that you get a dose, because Hutch could use some here in his lawn. Hillsboro, Franco, thank you very, very much for sharing your photo there. A lot of dark skies, but you've got the beautiful sun rays peeking in between these puffy little cumulus clouds, but a pretty dark sky there thanks to the fact of the abundant rain coming out of a few of these cells. And then as we look into Warren, here we go. Thank you, Warren, for sharing what's going on there. Let's see. Thinking, calculating, recalculating. Really? Okay, we'll just kind of go back to here and see if we can see if it reloads. There it is. Whoa, Warren. So we got really dark skies here from these fairly shallow thunderstorms. And then we got some lowering of the cloud bases out there. So a little bit of humid air working its way in, and with a lowering of the pressure, we get a lowering of the cloud base out there. Big time rain falling on this side of the storm, the updraft part right here. And that's where we're seeing these storms pulse up with the updrafts, get stronger briefly, then the downdraft of heavy rain, and not enough updraft to support huge hail or anything like that, but a pretty good view there, Matt. Thank you very much. This was 6:31 in Warren. So moments ago, I do appreciate you all sharing your photos at 6:47. That's a very timely report. Thank you so much. This is loading up here, and I can tell Hutch needs to figure out how to hit the rotate button. So I'll do that a little bit later. And this was the Wadena hail. Are you kidding me? Wadena hail. Some reports of 1 to 2 inch diameter hail falling in Wadena from a fast moving storm about 4:45 this afternoon. Some marbles, as you can see on the lawn, but as we suggest, walk around, pick the big ones up, not while they're falling. We don't want anybody with head injuries or, you know, getting concussed or anything like that. My friends at the Argyle Dragon invite me to use their stream, and we have Argyle with some storms moving in. So we're going to take a look at the Argyle Dragons site here real quick. Bear with me while my eyes squint and I try to find this, and we just make sure we get the right window picked up here. Oh, that is it. Okay, so that's the view. I just got to make sure it's a little bit sized right here so that we can see it. Okay, so there it is. Look at the clouds. Those are all making their way in. Let me just go ahead and just goof around here just a little bit so we can get the full view of the scene. Okay, there we go. So let me make sure that we got this. Now this is, if you want to bookmark this, I would welcome you to visit the Argyle Dragons website right over here. Argyle Dragon, and you can check them out on YouTube, and they'd love to have you subscribe. But again, we see the dark skies over on this right side over here as those clouds make their way. Look at the treetops dancing in the wind there as the storms are pushing their way into Argyle right now. And we even see some blue behind my back here as there's some breaks in between those clouds, as we've seen oftentimes working their way through with these storms. So those storms are in the general vicinity of Argyle, and as I'm peering at the radar, let me see if it looks like a direct hit or if it stays to one side of town or the other. It looks like it's moving right in on the composite radar. So good gust of wind coming out of Argyle right now, and it's working. The strongest part of this thunderstorm is working its way for our folks. And again, thanks to my friends at the Argyle Dragon. And you can go ahead and subscribe to their YouTube channel, Argyle, the Argyle Dragon, right there with a view in Argyle of what's going on. And they also love to take a look at those northern lights. Here's the strongest part of that cell working its way right into Warren right now. There could be some hail moving in towards your area. So gusty thunderstorms, and that's what's moving through the Fargo Moorhead area right now. As we take a look at the single site radar data, which will give me a little bit more non-smooth data, it's through, boy, we got a little hail core moving through Dilworth and in towards Glendon on the north side, south of Felton, and it's working its way off to the east-northeast. So it looks like the heavier rain shower has pushed its way through the FM area right now. You can kind of see old Hutch's lawn is going to just smack me. Here's that cell that moved through West Fargo and then went to North Fargo. Here's South Moorhead over here. And we got the little tiny drip of water, and that's about it, with a little bit more down south heading into Sabin or whatnot. So again, one side of town gets deluged and the other side of town gets, I think, 29 drops. So that's what we have going on as we continue to monitor the skies over the Red River Valley heading into our Wednesday night. Thanks again if you're just joining the channel. My name is Hutch Johnson. I'm a meteorologist covering the weather here in the Northern Plains as a chief meteorologist in broadcast media for the better part of 30 years. And now I have my own company called Hutch's Weather. Hutch'sWeather.com is my home base where you can find your forecast information. And also I have a brand new weather app called Hutch's Weather. Search Hutch's Weather in your app store today. Keeping our eyes on the skies for you. That's what we do. And that's how we roll. Here is a look at the content while I go gather more information.
You're watching Hutch's Weather
Uh-oh.
live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side.
next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports, the Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch, it's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch is weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
You won't find any hype here. Just the data, the radar, and the truth. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather for your severe weather updates. But Hutch resends the maps. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a critical update. We're back real soon to keep monitoring the threat. Stay weather ready. You're watching Hutch's weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side.
Don't wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch, it's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch is the weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
You won't find any hype here. Just the data, the radar, and the truth. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather for your severe weather updates. While Hutch resends the maps, make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a critical update. We're back real soon to keep monitoring the threat. Stay weather ready. You're watching Hutch's weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side.
Don't wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call, Hutch, it's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call, Hutch is weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
You won't find any hype here. Just the data, the radar, and the truth. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather for your severe weather updates. While Hutch resends the maps, make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a critical update. We're back real soon to keep monitoring the threat. Stay weather ready. You're watching Hutch's weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side.
Wait for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports, the Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch, it's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep those reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call. Hutch is weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
You won't find any hype here. Just the data, the radar, and the truth. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather for your severe weather updates. While Hutch resends the maps, make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a critical update. We're back real soon to keep monitoring the threat. Stay weather ready. You're watching Hutch's weather live. We're taking a quick breather. While Hutch prepares the next data sweep, check in from your neck of the woods in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing out your window. It's how we stay weather aware together. Stick around. Hutch is back in a moment to take your questions and track the latest alerts.
When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side.
for the next update to stay safe between Hutch's live reports. The Hutch's weather app is your best way to stay alert. Grab it now and never be caught off guard by the changing weather. If this coverage is helping you stay prepared, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. It helps the system push these alerts to more people in the path of the storm.
When storms arrive, we go live. We rise on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the ice and the snow, through the blizzard's call, Hutch's weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you. No matter the storm, anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com.
We see you in the chat. Keep the reports coming. Hutch is monitoring your local updates in real time. If you're seeing a change in the weather in your area, drop your city and current conditions now. You are our eyes in the field. Let's build this forecast together. Providing live coverage for the thousands of you across the northern plains is a responsibility we don't take lightly. Thank you for trusting Hutch's weather. Grab a quick refill. Take a second to share an update from your neighborhood in the chat. And we'll be right back to continue monitoring these developments together. Your safety is our mission.
When storms arrive, we go live with eyes on the sky. We stand by your
This has been a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Hutch's weather.